Yo, is this my cue? We're in. The Recruiting Power Hour, Shea, Dixon. I'm sitting in the captain's chair today. Stewie to my left in my normal chair.
And Lloyd behind the screen because
Lloyd
I don't need
is
to talk anymore at all.
Lloyd's in quarantine.
Yes, they've quarantined me. It's not COVID, though. I know it's not. I've had the COVID.
It's over, right?
Yeah, it's over. President Biden said it himself. I saw him walking down, and he was like, hey, COVID's over. It's like, oh, big announcement.
Yeah, Joe Biden also can't ride a bike. So.
We're quarantining Lloyd.
Sequestered.
These camera shots might make it seem like he's far away. He's really 3 feet away.
Yeah. He can touch us.
Yeah.
He's less than 6 feet, for sure.
That's what they come to the show for.
No doubt. Well, you have to do that initial banter when you're like, let's let everybody roll in.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's like the Facebook moms, like on the live when they're like selling a product and they're like, I'm going to let everybody roll in right now. Let's give it a minute.
Yeah, I do see people go on Instagram Live and they're just staring at their phone, or like on TikTok, and they're just like waiting for the numbers to go up. And then there's some people where it's like, bro, this is all you're going to get. You got about 15 people in here. Yeah. So we might as well start the show.
This is how popular you are.
Yeah. All right, I'm in this live.
We'll take some questions. As you see, the number is up there if you feel the need to call in and have Lloyd buzz you in and ask a question. But get the questions up in the YouTube chat. Let me bring up the YouTube chat.
Are you looking for the dongle?
And the phone.
The phone is right there. It's on that little desk to you.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah. Dongle's up there on the desk.
I see that too.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. We're ready now.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, we're live. All right. Stewie, are you keeping an eye on the chat?
Yeah.
I'm keeping an eye on the chat.
Oh.
We don't need to be playing. All right.
There we go.
I've done that in class before.
Let's start.
Was it Born?
No, it was just like
regular YouTube?
Culotta show.
Because that's
like
I'm just working.
Yeah, I'm working.
Yeah,
Cutting
I'm at work right now.
Yeah. That's what they could say for like if you have an OnlyFans in college, like I'm working. I
So
gotta cut this up.
It's my job.
Yeah.
Multiple people are already asking about the pick you're using, which including Rob Boudreaux, says, Shea has a new pick. Why are we still using the obituary pick? I agree, and it's because people at the Culotta show have determined that they will not change the photo, and they're only sticking with the old.
It's so good, dude. This is vintage Shea. Did you change your Twitter picture?
No.
See? It lives on forever because this is how I knew Shea Dixon. This is the man that I trusted the most whenever I needed recruiting information.
Yeah, same.
That's
Andre said Lloyd must have run to the doctors real quick. Unfortunately, he didn't.
No. I tried to schedule
He's here.
online.
How did that go?
I kind of gave up on it.
Oh, John said get a citrus juicer and drink some lemon water.
Yeah.
That is the move.
I got some
ginger too.
Some Theraflu.
All right.
And a Z-Pack.
I don't know what that is.
You got a Z-Pack?
Yeah.
You actually went to the doctor.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Something like that.
You should just go get like a cortisone shot or something.
That's what I need. And I tried to get an IV. I did that too. That one didn't take. It usually does. Go Flow IV. Thank you very much. But this one, it was more serious.
It wasn't enough.
Yeah, I thought this was like a game day hangover situation, and it was like, oh no, this is way worse than that. So usually I just go to Go Flow every Monday. They like expect me, and I just get the hangover.
Take Dayquil and NyQuil.
I did. I took Dayquil today, and I took my Z-Pack. But Katie's telling me I'm going to run out of steam here shortly because I do feel okay right now. But I have to do Mikey's show, and I think that's not going to be good for Mikey.
All right, Hunter Fournette asked off top, even with the hashtag Ask Shea, when's Harold Perkins going to get that 6-star? That's a good question. I'm going to try to make Harold Perkins the first person ever to receive a 6-star.
I think what they should do is have you cap it at 5 stars in high school, but then when you get to college, you can continue to go up like 6-star, 7-star, 8-star.
You can level up.
Yeah, you can level
up.
All
the way to 10.
Okay.
All the way to 10.
Yeah.
Hunter Fournette might be onto something.
I feel like that was my idea.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll give the credit to Hunter.
Let's start off. All right, so I'll give you all the big news from the weekend. Stu, you would consider this the big news, huh? That 2 top 5 quarterbacks for next year were on campus. You'll take it.
Brian Kelly spent a lot of time with Julian Shea.
Yes, Sayin is his last name.
He spent a lot of time with him in pregame. And DJ Lagaway, he spent a lot of time with those two guys in pregame for sure. Like, long talk, talking to the parents, talking to the dad, mom, sister, girlfriend, whoever else was with him, friends.
So you got an eye on both kids.
Yeah.
Lagway's a big dude.
Yes. I thought he was like a defensive lineman.
No, for real. Like when you see Lagway, like Julian Sayin looks like a normal high school junior football quarterback would look like.
Long hair.
Lagway,
Sunshine.
Lagway looks like a straight up two-sport star. I mean, he's got offers in baseball from everyone, offers in football from everyone.
I've been on Lagway. I brought him up one time whenever I was struggling to think of anything to ask. I started to talk about DJ Lagway because that's one of the few recruits that I still have I have my eyes on because he's multi-sport athlete. LSU, obviously very good at baseball. He plays baseball, football. The size was, intoxicating, and he's visited LSU unofficially 5 or 6 times.
Yeah,
and so that's what I wanted
Easy to get
ask.
over from Texas too. I mean, so yeah, he's had real interest. Getting offered by Jay Johnson and Brian Kelly is obviously pretty notable. I'll ask y'all this, or we can ask the chat, or you can just call and give us the answer. I was thinking about this. So Jared Mitchell or Chad Jones, they successfully played both sports, but they weren't the quarterback. I would think that the quarterback, that's a lot more. So how many guys have played high-level ball and been the football quarterback? Jameis was.
Jameis.
Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Those are the only two I could think of.
Josh Booty, did he play baseball?
I'm
at
thinking of
LSU?
just maybe in the past decade.
Oh, you're talking about dual sport in college.
Well, yeah, what guys were a
Jameis.
college quarterback and also played on the college baseball team?
Yeah, Jameis and Kyler are probably the only two
Yeah.
that I could think of. That's a great question.
I think the quarterback currently at Auburn, he played baseball at Oregon, too.
Yeah, he was perfectly. He had a perfect game ranking. He was
Talking about Robbie Ashford?
Yeah, he's a number 24 outfielder in the state. I think he's from Alabama, in the state of Alabama.
Yeah, he's from Bama.
Yeah, so he's a big time college baseball player. So that counts.
Yeah,
100% that counts. Let's see.
Jordy called him a true freshman this morning. That guy's definitely been in college 3 years.
Yeah, that's a. We were struggling this morning, boys. He was doing WAFB stuff. I was hacking up a lung, and then I don't know if we had eyes on the document that very early yesterday, so we had to make it up as we were going. True freshman, Robbie Ashford.
Yeah. Been in college 3 years, though.
Yeah.
Let's
True
see.
freshman to Auburn.
Pretty much.
I don't know if he played baseball, though. I see on Robbie Ashford, who's going to start at quarterback versus LSU this weekend. I certainly see his high school baseball accolades. Perfect game, number 2, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not sure if he played at Oregon, though. Someone may know that in the chat. I don't know. Oh, Russell Wilson, that's another good one.
Oh, yeah, that's probably the most obvious one.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about.
And Kyler.
Forgot about Dangerous.
If you pull it off, you'll end up starting in the NFL.
That's right.
But isn't that perfectly synonymous with Russell Wilson? As he just has multiple personalities. So of course he played multiple sports because he couldn't figure out which Russell he wanted to be. He's the weirdest person on the planet.
Yeah, probably top
He's
5.
very polarizing.
In all the wrong ways.
But, all right, so you saw Lagway. This kid, big
He's
kid. Big kid. You can see why colleges are fighting over him. Now, here's where we're at because everyone's asking. A lot of people, too, were like, oh, Julian Sayin's coming in. He's ready to announce in October. He's a high priority target, as Lagway is. But Lagway's not about to announce anywhere. If you're getting Sayin in, why did you then bring Lagway in as well? You don't tell a top 5 player, no, you can't come in. And they're recruiting Lagway just as hard as they are Sayin. Sayin just happens to be the guy who's about to announce next.
When is he announcing?
He said this fall. He's been specific about October a few times. But here's where we're at now. I think it's watching what Georgia does. Georgia, if he goes and visits Georgia, then that becomes notable because Georgia's got Sayin and a couple of other quarterbacks, Puglisi and Jaden Davis, that they're going to have on campus in October that they've been recruiting. So, did they shut things down and push for a quarterback right then when Sayin's about to make his announcement? If not, does that mean LSU's really trending? He's mentioned Bama potentially going on a visit. I would say Georgia's the bigger threat for sure. So you've already got Ricky Collins for this year. The focus turns to next year. They've done a great job of they've got a bunch of offers. I mean, they're recruiting 5, 6, 7 guys right now. But Sayin is definitely up next on the watch list. from talking to him, he had a great weekend. He said he landed in New Orleans, like got a rental car with his folks, brought his quarterbacks coach to around noon, drove over, made it to the game, hung out, went to Tiger Walk, all that. And then on Sunday, got up early and went to the offices and met with coaches and did film study and individual meetings and all of that. So, and then he left about noon on Sunday to go back to New Orleans to fly home to California. So really about a 24-hour trip, right, on campus. And they smashed everything into that they could. You know, it almost felt like a mini official visit. So you feel like you've made an impression there. You've done the most you can. If he's about to announce in October, you got him to fly across the country on his own dime, obviously. The night after, he had played a football game, so it wasn't like he just had some completely free weekend. You got to like where things stand right now, but we'll see, because I want the dust to settle from this visit, and then let's see if he goes and says, I want to go to Georgia and visit, I want to go to Bama and visit, whatever it might be, or maybe I'm not ready to make a decision yet. I don't know. So right now, the plan is October. He doesn't have any other visits locked in, but we'll keep an eye on it. I think keep an eye on a potential Georgia visit. With Lagway, as I said, he's not about to announce anytime soon. But you're battling A&M, who's recruiting him in baseball and football. Florida, who's recruiting him in baseball and football. A lot of schools that are recruiting him both that do have good football and baseball programs. So you're kind of up against it. I don't know if he's going to really want to announce anytime soon, but if they don't get saying, Lagway is right up there in terms of the next guy you're really watching. And I wouldn't expect multiple quarterbacks to commit in one class. So that's kind of where we're at with saying.
Yeah.
Good to get them both in, though.
Right. And talking about the quarterbacks, but also like just that recruiting class. Another guy that Brian Kelly spent a lot of time with in pregame, Tiger Walk, was Colage Cobbins from Desean, the edge rusher. Yeah. He spent a lot of time.
He's another junior in high school.
Jamar Kane came over, talked to him. Matt House came over, talked to him. Like, all the coaches were really involved with him, like, in pregame, Tiger Walk, probably in the Lawton room. I'm sure they went and talked to him before they went in the locker room. Like, they're really high on this kid.
Yeah, he's a really good defensive lineman, edge guy coming out of Desean, which is obviously a big-time program. LSU's recruited it well over the years. And he's been, like, getting him back to campus was clutch. He's already been on campus, plenty of times before. I think he's one that he's already a top 5 player in the state for next year. He's already got an offer. They're already pressing him. I'd put him on that short list of guys that could potentially be if you're looking at in-state juniors who could commit next, I would have Colage Cobbins up there on the list.
100%.
Beast.
We got some Shea's in here.
Ooh.
My guy Cardell asks Shea, who do you compare Trey Holly to? State rushing record.
He did. He broke the state rushing record. Not done yet. So it goes him, Nick Brissett at U High, and then Kenny Hilliard at Patterson. And he'll put some distance on those guys. I think they have 6 games left. So long way to go there. Oh, man. I mean, people say Clyde. I think that's just kind of an easy thing to say. Yeah. Clyde's a fine comp. I don't know what Trey Holly's testing numbers and all that are. Clyde was jumping, Clyde had a 40-inch vertical and was running a 4.5 something. That he was a really freaky athlete.
Is Nick Brissett a bad comparison?
No.
I think Nick's a little bit bigger, taller certainly.
A little bit less speed too, probably.
That's what I'm thinking. But I'm just saying they kind of had a similar career paths for sure.
Yeah.
Obviously, state rushing record puts them together. I think Trey Holly is probably a little bit less of an athlete than Clyde, but more of an athlete than Nick, if that's fair to say.
Trey Holly is pretty shifty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. More of an athlete than Nick was. Probably more versatile. Probably a little bit better, but not quite where Clyde, or at least. I don't know, where did y'all have him coming in? Because Nick Brissett obviously started over Clyde, and it didn't seem like he was ever going to get a real moment to become a first-round pick.
We had Clyde as a 4-star for sure. Are you talking about in high school?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had him as a 4-star, top 150, 200 range player. I would say
There's nobody like him.
No, it's just a combo of he's a big kid for being like I don't. It's listed at 177. I'm not sure if that's true. I bet he weighs more than that now, and he's 5'7". Like he's a bruiser. Like when you think of like shiftiness and all that, like he'll run right between the tackles on every play. Like it's not like he's a guy that's just bouncing it and going.
It looks like they run a lot of like.
Honestly, kind of like a Corey Kiner type player. Which I thought if he would have stuck around, he'd be playing a good bit this year. So
yeah. He was the one that got bullied by I forgot who they were playing, but somebody knocked him down. Then they tried to pick him up by the back pad. They thought he was faking hurt. That was Kiner since he was playing somebody.
Tough. Oh, that was Arkansas.
Now Kiner was over 200 pounds, but I think he'll get there, and a little bit taller. But I think they're similar type runners. Yeah, that's my answer. That's a good question.
Oh, and we have another one from Cordell. Hold on, let me pull it up. He texted it in because Cordell is quick to the phone. He said, "Ask Shea, is Brad Davis making a move for Marjavius Moss?"
I don't know is Brad Davis recruiting Marjavius
I don't know,
Moss?
that's what I was gonna look up.
I mean, Moss is a kid coming out of Northwood in Shreveport. Yeah, maybe Brad Davis is doing some Shreveport recruiting, I guess. I need to double check that. But yes, I would say that LSU very much.
Robert Steeples looks like his primary on 3.
Yeah, I would say that he's very much in the mix right now. Georgia's been recruiting him. Auburn's been recruiting him. LSU's been recruiting him.
Is he a late riser?
Yeah, I mean, I thought he had a really good year last year. I thought his junior film was nice. So he's not wanting to do any decisions until, I think he said late October would be whenever he's going to make his decision. So right now he's got, like, Minnesota would be a big offer, and there's a couple of others in there. But I bet in the next month he kind of breaks through a little bit bigger school glass ceiling.
Yeah, because his top 3 interests. Do you mind me sharing these from 1-3?
No, absolutely. What you got? Bring it up.
Yeah, right now the top 3 are like Minnesota, Northwestern State, Louisiana Tech, and Grambling. So I wouldn't imagine that would be like, that's not usually in the same ballpark as an LSU. So that's why I asked like if he was a late riser or not. He doesn't even have a picture up.
I don't know why he doesn't have a picture. We have a lot of pictures of him. You can get on the database team there.
Uh-oh. Yeah, new sheriff in town.
I feel like he used to have a photo up there. Yeah. But yeah, he's a 4-star on the consensus, as you just saw. So good player. I liked him a lot as a junior. Be curious. I guess we're about a month into seasons now, so that's when everybody watches senior film. They've got some evals in, now a few games, or let's say 4 games, 5 games, and that's when new offers start going out. So maybe. He's one I'm definitely keeping an eye on. Okay, I can rock through some of these. Let's see. Hashtag big brain. That must be you, Lloyd. Hunter Fournette said, yep, Lagway looks college ready. Hunter Fournette said, why is Nicholas Harbor sounding like he's in Michigan? Sounding like he likes Michigan. I'm not a fan of that. The key with Nicholas Harbor at this point is just to get him on campus. And there was some, I don't even know where it started, but people were saying that Harbor was going to come in for the Tennessee game, but I think he might have said that, but then when his schedule came out, he had to reschedule it because they play on Saturday at 1 o'clock, the weekend of the Tennessee LSU game. So, like, he would have never been able to come. I would definitely say Michigan, South Carolina are 2 teams that you're watching right now, LSU being what I think would be the one in the third, or in that top 3. Jamar Cain's done a good job here. Even with the talk of him maybe playing tight end in college, he's kept D-line open because of Cain. And LSU needs tight ends anyway, so they'd be recruiting him no matter what. I would look for him to get on an official visit once his season ends. So closer to signing day, which is a good thing. That's kind of where I'm at right now with Harbor.
So he won't make a commitment.
I don't think he'll pop before. I don't think he'll pop in the next month. Or I think
he's not signing early.
I'm not sure if he is or isn't. But regardless, if you can get him in before the first signing day, so like December on an official, that'd be key. Or at least late in the season. Let's see.
Oh, well, you mentioned the Tennessee game. How does that affect recruiting and their official visits, trying to get their schedule straight, anything like that?
Yeah. Okay. So LSU, I mean, obviously LSU wasn't too happy on a number of levels, right? Like you're losing a bunch of revenue by having it at 11 a.m. and not at night or at 2:30 or whatever it might be. Just the game day environment changes. But for recruiting, you have to think about all these kids play Friday night. So when they come to watch LSU play, typically it's a night game, unless it's a 2:30 CBS type game. That gives them all day to get in from Texas, wherever. I mean, Julian saying played a game on Friday night in California, woke up Saturday morning, flew to New Orleans, got a rental car, drove to campus, and still made it there in time to have a couple hours with the staff before kickoff, which was at 6:30. When you're kicking off at 11, a kid can't get on a flight and fly to New Orleans and then get a rental car and come over there and even be on campus by 11. So then you even get into the Texas kids from, I got a 4 or 5 hour drive. Well, we're going to need you to get up now at 6 a.m. Or we're going to need you to leave the night before. Well, I'll play a game. We'll leave after the game. It makes it a lot tougher to bring kids in for a game when it's at 11 a.m. for the reasons I just explained. What makes it a little tougher on them is they were really banking that this would be a night game or at least a 2:30, and they had stacked up the visitor list. So now Monday when that news comes out, they're spending the whole week pretty much trying to figure out who can we still get to come in, how can we get, help them out with ideas of, okay, you could leave at this point, you could carpool with this guy, whatever it might be. But that's kind of what they're not scrambling, but having to deal with right now, which...
That's why you lost the deal, CBS.
That's why, I'm sure LSU is not too upset that the CBS deal is gone after getting the wrong end of the stick on this one.
Now you get to put Ohio State, Michigan, 11 a.m.
Do you recall any game, kind of anything like this ever happening to LSU in your time where it's like, I mean, this is set up for prime time where LSU's either going to be a 2:30 or 6 o'clock kick or even be on ESPN. Like this usually would not be LSU's not an 11 o'clock team, but I'm saying a game that is this marquee. Have you ever seen anything happen like this recently, Shea?
No, I mean, yeah, probably once every year. It just might not involve LSU.
No, I was talking about for LSU.
Like just getting shafted on the game. There's always one or two of those a year where you feel kind of that way, I'm sure. But this one was magnitude because it was like magnified because it was the CBS doubleheader. You figured you were getting one of them.
Right.
And then when they picked Georgia-Auburn, and Auburn's on life support. But I think the argument was that did Georgia not take Auburn in the doubleheader, that they wouldn't have Georgia on the number one team until like week 8, which is when Florida, Georgia are playing the cocktail party. So CBS's thought was, we're picking Bama A&M no matter what. Mm-hmm. Are we really going 8 weeks into the season, owning the rights to the SEC, and not ever putting the number one team on in a primetime, a 2:30 slot?
It actually makes sense when you put it that way.
A little bit. I understand, but
still.
Doesn't help.
Nobody wants to watch Georgia skull drag Auburn for
that game will be over by
3 hours.
Hopefully Aaron Judge hasn't hit his home run by then. You can cut into that.
This is not a baseball show.
It's not ESPN.
No. Oh, yeah. No, I was just saying that.
I don't know nothing about it.
Oh, you didn't see that over the weekend?
Oh, who was playing?
Attention.
I don't know. It was a good game, though.
Oh, I did see that some college game got cut out of for...
Oh, South Carolina was running out the top. No. I don't know what it was. But they were playing. And, yeah, they just cut into Aaron Judge, and it's like the third or fourth quarter.
Was it Wake Forest,
Maybe so.
Clemson?
Yeah.
Where they, cut half and half screen, and it was Judge trying to hit.
That's the joke I was making.
He hasn't gotten on base in, a long time.
No.
It's tough for the guy.
9 games left. I hope he doesn't do it.
All right. I don't follow baseball. You are losing me.
I don't either, but when they cut into my college football Saturday,
it becomes an issue.
Yeah,
okay, got it.
Because I don't follow baseball.
Yeah, I don't care about Aaron Judge's 61st home run.
But ask Shea, any visitors at Auburn this weekend that are LSU targets?
I just saw Tadarius Collins, who's a defensive lineman out of Louisiana that's certainly being monitored by LSU. We talked about Marjavius Moss. Tadarius Collins up in North Louisiana could be a kid who grabs an offer. He's a really good-looking prospect. He's being recruited by Auburn. He's certainly in contact with LSU and Jamar Cain and the staff a good bit. But he'll be at that game, so there'll be at least one Louisiana guy there. I'd have to look. They're not really going head-to-head with Auburn for any recruits right now, so
Austin Osbury.
There wouldn't be he'll be playing. There wouldn't be like any kids there that you'd be like, oh yeah, like hopefully we put on a big show in front of that kid. Like Auburn ain't setting the world on fire in recruiting.
Wait, does he play at all?
And I'm sure Auburn's probably in one of those spots right now where they're like,
yeah,
I don't even know if we need to bring in any kids this week.
I don't know if we're gonna be here next week.
Right.
And that's actually funny. It's the next Ask Shea. Are you hearing anything from recruits saying that they don't want to go to Auburn because of the Harsin situation or the looming coaching change?
I'm sure that's happening. LSU and Auburn are not crossing over on any guys right now, really.
Which,
so
if you're Auburn, it's terrible news for you. Like you're not recruiting the way that SEC teams are that are trying to win, right?
Yeah, Auburn isn't very good.
But if they're not recruiting the same type of guys, I'd imagine some guys are leaving. But to Stewie's point, don't you think this is an opportunity for Osbury or somebody on Auburn's team that's good to see LSU and how they still need to build? Like, this is a transfer portal opportunity for at least to gauge LSU's interest.
We only
and
want
Osbury.
Auburn has the number 32 class in the country, the number 10 class in the SEC, and their highest ranked commitment is ranked number 164 in the country.
So he's a kicker?
Wow.
He's a running back.
Terrible.
So there wouldn't be much crossover. In fact, there is one kid. I like Ashley Williams out of Zachary, who's committed to Auburn right now, but he doesn't have an offer, and they've already got a bunch of D linemen committed. Him, Tadarius Collins. There's guys here in Louisiana that LSU's monitoring, but he could be another one that pops up this weekend. But not much crossover there. Taylor asked, "What's more likely? LSU finishes with a ranking 1 to 5 or 6 to 10?" Ooh, I like this question. They're 6 now, and they've been hovering at 6 forever, it seems like. Some of this will depend on how all the ranking services adjust and kind of move guys around. Like on threes, like way higher on Darren Reed and Desean Womack and Joshua Mickens, really, than any of the other services. If all those services move him up some, then a guy like that becomes higher in the composite, and that bumps your score. And if that happens a good bit, like Weeks is a kid Whit Weeks, West's little brother, who's continuing to move up the rankings. I think Ashton Stamps is going to make a big jump up rankings eventually. And he's the lowest ranked kid in the class right now in the composite, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. I think he's going to be better than a lot of the players in the class. I'm just high on him. I think he's a really good, gritty player. And some of it would require you closing with big fish, right? Like you've got to go get, if you landed another big D lineman or flipped some big D lineman or somehow reeled in Harbor, and Toviano would help a ton, who's a guy that they seem to be in the lead for, who's very highly ranked. So,
Warren LSU head to Texas A&M's game.
that was savage. I'm going a high of 5. I'm going 4 to 7 range. 4, 5, 6, 7. Ooh, boy, so I'm split on both sides of this question. I'll say more likely 6 to 10, but I think it's 4 to 7. Maybe more likely that you end up 5, 6, 7. Maybe the highest you go is 4. That's a really good class considering you just had massive coaching changes and went 500 in back-to-back seasons. So,
Wait, somebody in the
That's
chat
good.
just asked if Vern was still alive from this.
Lundquist?
Yes.
I think so.
I don't know if he's calling game.
No, he's not calling games.
But he's out there. He's alive. It's,
No.
It's a race to the casket between him and Corso.
Hunter Fournette already pointed out, depends on Harvard, Toviano, a couple other peeps. Yeah, I mean, the adjustment of the rankings of the current 22 commits, like 22 total commits, and then if you can land a couple big fish, that'll push you up. My man Phil J, I think he dropped $5 in here. Is that what that is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, super chat.
Just simply to say, did you see how Bax destroyed Tyree Adams on Saturday? So Bax plays for Edna Carr. He's a linebacker. Tyree Adams is committed to LSU. He's a St. Aug kid. Bax is that dude, I think. The only linebacker they have committed right now is Weeks, and he's a solid player, and he's, as I said, he's moving up in the rankings, but you need more than, you can't just sign one linebacker. So I won't be shocked if Bax, who's committed to TCU, gets an LSU offer. They've been talking to him. They've been turning up the heat. They've been inviting him in for games. So that's one I I'd keep a close watch on, because I think too, if LSU offered him, I think he'd end up at LSU. I don't think he would stick to TCU. It was a nice early eval by them, but I think that if LSU's offering him, it'd be hard pressed for me not to believe that he would end up in the class. And Tyree Adams is still a top 10 offensive tackle. So if you're getting the best of Tyree Adams, you're a pretty good player. All right, we bounce around here. Oh, my man's Khan gave $2 and said Duke says hi, Shea. What up, Duke?
Do you know who that is?
Mm-hmm. It's a bunch of my Burke, Duke.
Bunch your boys.
Mm-hmm. I don't know where that $2 is going though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real with you.
To you,
what up to all my fans?
All my fans.
I mean, I just don't want to forget anybody. So.
That's true. Do you know, just going to ask Shea when Toviano plans to commit?
He said any day now, but he said that 2 weeks ago or whatever.
I think he's trying to get that last jab in, dude, with the hat.
Okay, so he went to the A&M game against Arkansas, which was obviously at Jerry World. His high school is like less than 8 miles from Jerry World, and I'm sure he doesn't live far from it. So it would have been weird if you didn't go to the game, right? Like, I'm being recruited by A&M. They gave me and all my buddies tickets. I'm going over there with some teammates. We're going to be hanging out watching the game. Gets in a picture that gets tweeted out by some – I don't know if it was a kid tweeted out. Texags, okay. Texags tweets it out, and it's A&M targets, commits, whatever it might be. They're on their Aggie gear. He seamlessly blends in because he's wearing the all black, and like they're in maroon and black and all that. But you take the closer look, he's rocking the LSU hat. It's just a black hat. But the black LSU hat with his high school football's T-shirt. So it almost looks like no one would. He's not in there being obnoxious wearing a bunch of purple and gold in the middle of an A&M section. So you got the picture?
Yeah.
Just popping the head in the back,
It's very subtle.
Yeah, it is.
Wouldn't have caught it if it wouldn't have gotten pointed out to me.
What do you think Jimbo told him when he saw him with the hat on?
Jimbo didn't notice.
How much money do you want?
I mean, how much do we have to give?
All right, there we go. So he's the one in the back, right? So he's hiding behind the other dudes who are all wearing Devin Achin and A&M gear. He's back there in his high school T-shirt, but the hat, Lloyd, look at you.
He's working over there.
There you go. The zoom in effect.
Mm-hmm. Enhance.
LSU hat.
Enhance.
He came to the LSU game decked out in a Joe Burrow jersey.
See?
Now he's going to A&M games in an LSU hat. So this is a top 5 safety in the country.
This guy's a beer gut. And he's throwing up the little giggle sign.
I don't know who that kid is.
Yeah, he has a cross chain on. He's a weirdo.
Oh, that's a specialist for sure.
It could be a quarterback.
It might be Jimbo's son. Did you see his fake chains after the game?
One of Jimbo's son has some sort of sick. I think one of them is sick, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see. Lyle, Shea, any update on the safety, Tylen Singleton, out of Manny, especially since Kelly improved the relationship with the school? Yeah, I mean, I think LSU's the team to beat for him. And I think their relationship is fine at Manny right now. Like, I don't think Tackett was ever going to LSU anyways, but LSU still made a goodwill effort to recruit him between House and Polian went up there right away. Yeah, I think LSU's the team to beat there. A&M's in it, Arkansas. I mean, there's teams recruiting him, obviously. But right now in the On3 consensus, he's the top player in the state next year. Top 3 linebacker. I'm talking about positions of need. He's up there. Yeah, I think LSU's the team to beat. I don't think he's going to shut things down right now or anything, but I would not at all be like, oh, LSU's not in it because it's at Manny and Manny.
You talking about Tackett?
Not anymore. I moved on. I said Tackett remains committed to USC. He wasn't ever going to LSU though. So that's not really part of any presumed Manny high beef. And I think Jeff Curtis and LSU got everything smoothed out. They're good to go. That's my opinion. I don't think there is any drama right now.
I got another Ask Shea for you. Is there anyone other than is there any other schools? No, is there any other schools that Sampson is looking at other than LSU?
You talking about Shelton?
Shelton?
Shelton.
No.
100% done.
I'm not Shelton, but
Yeah.
I think he shut things down for a reason. I think his family's on board with the decision. I think he's good to go. No, I don't think anybody's out
Sure,
there.
they're still calling.
And then,
For sure.
We got another one coming in here. What's the word on 2025 running back for Mandeville, Nate Shepard? Brother plays for Vandy, has 11 touchdowns in 4 games as a sophomore.
Huh, okay. Is he? You said he was 2025?
Yeah.
I haven't... shout out to whomever that was for the...
David Cubido.
David, okay. I'll have to check him out. I have not dove into 25 much, but I'm presuming his brother's Will Shepard. Does this kid go to Holy Cross?
Plays for Vandy.
No, his brother plays for Vandy.
Yeah,
He
that'd
says
be...
They played all against 5A teams. So.
Well, does this kid go... Is this kid from Louisiana?
I don't know.
In 2025 from Mandeville. So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Will Shepard
Nate
played at
Shepard.
Holy Cross. This has got to be Will Shepard's little brother. Will Shepard's like Vandy's best player right now. That kid was a freak in high school. I thought LSU could have been right there with an offer for him. Like, y'all don't understand. Louisiana be turning out elite, good receivers. Dontavian Wicks out of Plaquemine crushed it last year at Virginia. He's going to be a high draft pick probably. Will Shepard's been on fire since he got to Vandy. He was incredibly productive in high school.
Yeah, this has got to be his brother. Wow.
Okay, I got to keep an eye on him then. 2025, that's some good numbers for a sophomore running back.
speaking of numbers in high school football, did you see Amarion Miller? 17. I think it's like
Yeah,
14
he had like
receptions.
200-something yard game.
Yeah, no, kickoff return, 98-yard kickoff return too. 7 receptions for 243 yards and 3 touchdowns.
A lot of good receivers in Louisiana.
Where do you think LSU stands with him? Because he's committed to Nebraska, and I don't know what.
I mean, he was committed to LSU, and then he decommitted, and then he committed to Mickey Joseph at Nebraska. And I'm pretty sure Mickey's contract has it tied in that he'll be the receivers coach again if he's not the head coach. So then you would think he would hold on to guys like that. I haven't heard that LSU's been heating back up there, and they have 4 receivers. I mean, they got Jalen Brown, they got Shelton, they got Kyle Parker, who's been on fire in Texas. They got Kai Preon out of St. James, so 4 is probably enough, but it's always worth monitoring, especially if he's a one-time commit who, is turning in a big game for sure. Bilbo T. Baggins. You guys are regular in all the chats. I love it.
He is. He's a big ESPN 104.5 guy.
Well, then why are you upset about it? He's here supporting right
I
now.
know. I'm happy to see him switch over.
What's up, Bilbo?
We could say fuck shit. Balls over here.
Does LSU usually bring in their biggest recruits for LSU Bama still? Yeah, for sure. That's the one that draws the most. Tennessee was going to be a big one.
I know. That's got to be
So,
such a killer.
I think a lot of it is now shifted to Ole Miss because that's the other home game marquee one, in November.
How much changes, how quickly can that change for the staff, recruiting staff? Are they in scramble mode now?
Changes in an instant when they find
Yeah.
out Monday, look, we got bumped to 11 a.m.
Bummer.
Then you start calling everyone trying to reschedule or trying to figure out how to get them in or reschedule.
Because you don't want to waste it, or not, I don't want to say waste an official, but you planned a lot of what you're trying to do around that official, right? Like this is going to be, they only hit 5 of them. And so now you're saying, are you trying to almost talk them out of Tennessee and into Ole Miss? Or are you saying, hey, if you still want to come in Tennessee, it's just at 11 a.m.? Or is it because you won't be able to spend as much time with them that you're like, wait, don't come to Tennessee, come to Ole Miss? Is that the thought process?
You're talking about
It's like they
official
would rather
visitors?
have time with them than them see a good game.
You're just talking about official visitors.
Yeah.
Right,
I think you want to do both. See a good game. But then again, if Julian Sayin wants to come in Lagway for New Mexico, they come in. You don't
Right.
say no. So a lot of it just depends too
No, I'm
on.
saying for officials.
I don't know if they'll do any officials during the season.
Okay.
I wonder if they don't value more having just the time with them. Especially if you can get a kid in for a game on an unofficial. Just officials during the season don't give you a ton of time to be with the family. Normally an official not in the season, you're eating Friday night with them, you're with them all day Saturday, you're eating in the stadium, you're hanging out on Sunday with them. When you're playing a game, it's Friday night you're with the team at the hotel. Saturday you're going through walkthroughs and then with the team. Saturday, if it's at night, then you've only seen them briefly during the day on the sideline of the game. Then Sunday, you're fitting in a quick breakfast before you've got to go to film study, and they're popping around to meetings. So it's more beneficial to have them after the season, but you take it where you can get it. Let's rock. Let's see.
I think that was our sign to you got something else to do after this. I just got to walk in.
Okay, well, let me scroll real quick so I'm not leaving anybody out.
All right.
John Secura, is Harbor still coming in for Tennessee game? No, he wasn't. And he wasn't ever because he has a game that day. Once his schedule came out, he plays in Virginia on Saturday at like 1 p.m. So they'll try to get him in closer to the end of the year.
Damn, they got a better TV time than LSU.
Bilbo Baggins is trying to avoid the thought of sending his kid to U High so they don't get LSU overload. It's a deep crack. Rob said, thanks for only talking football. That's right. We know baseball talking here. I mean, this thing jumps. I can move quick here. We'll go a couple more minutes. I'll just knock it all out. Toviano and Chester. Yeah, DJ Chester. Someone said would put us top 3. Okay, I like LSU to land both those guys. When does Toviano? We already answered that. He says any day. We talked about the Nate Shepard.
Ask the room when you start.
Garrett Dellinger being listed as doubtful instead of out. Yeah, I saw Brady Miller reported he broke his hand.
Where'd you see that?
On the internet.
Oh, what show?
No shows on Brady Miller's Twitter.
Oh, yeah, we reported it here live on this show this morning.
Well, I wasn't listening.
That's what I'm getting at.
I consumed my injury news this morning via Brody.
Twitter is the newspaper.
Let's see.
Pooping. Shea was doing poop research.
Mm-hmm. I was like,
Bilbo 2025 so far out. Holy. Yeah, I agree. Man, I can't keep up if it's that far out. Will played at Mandeville. Oh, okay, so David, who asked the initial question, corrected me. Okay, Will didn't play at all. But he is, I'm going to take it, that is his little brother. And Will's a beast at Vandy. Shea saying Vandy almost like 2 losing studs, Besh being the other. Oh, God, imagine if they would have had Besh and Will. Yikes.
Portal.
I'm scrolling through this chat.
Yeah,
a lot of this is just talking.
Ask Shea, who is your 3 must-gets?
Better shot at Harbor, Toviano. Cody, shout out to having to be home watching with the 8-week-old twin boys. Oh man, Cody, prayers up. When an 11 a.m. help that's over early, that Rob asked. Yeah, because you could spend more time with kids after the game than you normally would, but the issue would be getting them in for the game. John Skura, what D tackles LSU looking at to add to a class? That position's thin. Totally agree. Position's thin. They have one committed I love in Darren Reed. I think he's, like, we have him as a top 50 player in the country. He's going to really surprise some people. I think he'll play right away next year. So, and they have some guys that have a little versatility. They can maybe move inside on the current team to help with that depth. And we'll see if they don't land another guy.
Con Lee.
Joseph Belova is kicker at Bama. Yep. We got a lot of North Shore guys. Another Mandeville guy. Has the LSU ever successfully recruited a good center? I mean, yeah, I'm sure. They turned guys into centers, but T-Bob was a center. Not a lot of guys play center in high school. So that's the issue is you're recruiting guys to then have to move them to center. There's not a ton of guys who just straight up centers.
What defensive tackles?
Mandeville to Broadway pipeline. Yep, 100%. Con, $2.
Did you see this at Shea? What defensive tackles are LSU looking
Con's
to add?
trolling right now
I
hard.
know, I saw the 2-4. I saw that.
247 for life, Shea, $2.
I said we on 3.
I've got love for everyone,
Give
man.
$247.
I got love for everybody, especially Con. All right, that was all the questions in there.
Oh, did you get the defensive tackle?
Yeah, I said Darren Reed.
Right,
They've already got him committed.
And
I think he's a top 3 defensive tackle in the country.
Let's go.
I also think they can move some kids around on the current team. They can kind of slide in and help you out there.
They say, what's your plans for the early tailgate?
And you
Shea
get Mason Smith back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Shea doesn't get to tailgate.
I don't tailgate, dog.
Yeah, he doesn't. I do.
Can Shea catch a football? Yeah.
Depends
Depends on who's throwing it.
That's right.
I'm going to wake up at like 7, 8-ish.
I'm not going to go to bed.
Have a few drinks. Walk in the game.
Ron Template asked about the Dutchtown offensive lineman. What's his name? Ethan Fields?
Mm-hmm.
I think he's still committed to Purdue. I haven't heard anything new on that front. But again, they're kind of doing evals right now, ongoing of seniors. So certainly LSU's watched him. He'll be, I guess, a guy we continue to keep an eye on type of thing. But no offer yet. I think his big offer, like Indiana, Tulane, Purdue. He committed to Purdue. Ole Miss is starting, at least had been recruiting him at one point. So it'll be someone to keep an eye on.
You talked about Desean Womack as a riser in the rankings, or somebody who everybody's keeping an eye on.
I think he could rise with everybody else. I think we've got him at number 28 in the country right now, which is pretty far off from where the rest of the industry does. So if things all even out there, that he's one who would be a 5-star type player for him.
I don't see why nobody else is high on him. Georgia's trying to flip him.
Robert said on center, it's fairly easy to move for most linemen. Question mark seems really tough, of course. Yeah, I think it's tough. I think we're seeing that right now when they've had to train Charles Turner and Dellinger and Marlon Martinez all to be centers. It comes with some road bumps.
Talk to a daddy.
All right. I think that's it, boys.
All right.
We got to all of them.
Yeah, nice. You even had the phone lines open.
Yep, y'all could have called in. No chess.
Cordell did.
Well, someone said minus. They're talking about center. It's not just, and it is, obviously snapping and shotgun under center, but then you're calling out a lot of the stuff that the defense is doing. So
you saw Dellinger struggle with making that switch, and they obviously went a different direction with somebody that could handle that
I think
responsibility.
Brian Kelly said Charles Turner really helps get us lined up, helps point out the defenses, helps pick up blitz. So, yeah, you want a smart guy in there. Not an easy transition, as Bilbo said.
A lot of combo blocks for the center.
To
be the best lineman.
Hunter Hall asked any last-minute recruiting nuggets. That's like Billy's department there. Billy did post some.
We had some tidbits.
Tidbits in there the other day. So yeah, if you want to get to On 3, the Bengal Tiger, he's got tidbits up right now on
$1.
$1 for a whole year. Come on, guys.
I'm waiting to get my hat like Shea.
Did you sign up for it?
Yes, I signed up for I paid the $1.
But then did you sign up for the hat?
Oh, no, I was supposed to sign up for that?
Yeah. It'll show up in a day. I'll text you.
I need the hat, man. Yeah. I'm trying to wear that to a game. Like,
I hear you. I'm gonna get you figured out. Anybody in the chat want the hat? It's only $1, and you get the hat and a whole year to the site. Let's ride.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
I'm pissed because I signed up and they didn't have the hat option on there. So
what's the front look like?
It says
Bengal Tiger Founders Club.
Yeah, could have been in the club. Cool. Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
All right. I appreciate everybody for listening. I'm going to come put the hat right up here before Jordy comes on set.
Yeah.
I want that hat.
See, I said the same thing. He's like, oh, you got to pay $1 for it. I'm like, Shea, I paid my $1. Where's my hat?
I got it.
Boom. Founders Club, established 2022.
All you got to do is pay $1 for that thing.
Little outsider, let it go. Snap back.
That thing's fire. That thing's.
That's what I'm saying.
Feels like y'all are losing money on that deal. It could be like $15 for that hat.
We're man of the people.
I love that.
All right.
All right. Speaking of,
we got to move on.
Yeah, you got something else you got to do.
Fun show.
Great show.
Horns down forever.
That's true.
Alrighty. Love y'all. Thank you.
Love you, Mom.